Hello, and welcome to another episode of Empowering Discussions with a Disabled Man. I'm your host, Michael Hummel. I'm the founder of Wheels and Warriors. Today's guest is Keaver Brenai. She is a voice actor. She worked with many brands, networks, organizations, commercial, promo, TV, uh, narration, and corporate. She is known as the narrator of the TV series documentary Shark Attack Investigation, among other things. So let's bring her in when she comes on. There she is. Hello. Hi, Keaver, are you coming? I don't. Did you request to? I didn't see a request. Hello, Hillary. Nice to see you too. There she is.
Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Let me turn you up a little bit so I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing and into you.
How's everything going today, Michael? What's up?
Good. Yeah, I'm just hanging out with. I was just watching Star Wars with the wife.
Nice. That sounds like fun.
Yeah,
That
it was fun.
sounds like fun. Hey,
Yes.
Yolanda. Hi, Terry. Hi, April.
Hey, Derek. So how are you going? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
Yeah. How about you?
I'm good.
Awesome sauce.
So, did you have any questions for me or something you wanted to talk about, or did
I,
you?
I do, actually. I wanted to find out if you and your wife are like ambassadors for any other organizations outside of Wheels and Warriors. One, and two, how we can learn more about your organization and ways to support you guys.
Actually, I'm not affiliated with any other organizations. I'm looking into that though.
Okay.
Uh, the best way to support us is just follow my blog and follow me on Instagram and message me there. We'll talk and we'll connect and
Okay.
we'll see what we can do to make the mission go forward.
Awesome. That sounds good. That
Yeah.
sounds, yeah. I don't know if everybody knows what you do. Maybe you can
Um,
tell a bit about what you do.
well, Wheels and Warriors officially, well, it kind of started in 2017. What I was doing was I was going to the gym and I would post pictures and videos to keep myself accountable on Instagram because I wanted to show my workouts and have progress. And about 4 years in, my girlfriend at the well, my wife. Well, yeah, my wife. She was my wife at the time. Time flies. We just had our 30th anniversary. We were married or engaged, and she said to me that you should probably do more. You should do more blogs, more pictures, more videos to get more of a the message out there to get because it's becoming more of a movement, and
Okay.
people are getting more interested in it. So I wanted to help more people, so I made it more broad.
Good.
And yeah,
Okay. That sounds amazing.
yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Fantastic.
That's one of the things that this show came out of was me wanting to connect with people and teach them about disability and have discussions and conversations about their experiences and what they know and what they don't know.
Okay. Got it. Makes sense. Awesome. So I was watching one of your podcasts from
Yeah,
a few weeks ago,
yeah,
and I saw one that you were doing with Terry and all the wonderful things that you guys were talking about. And
yeah. That
I
one,
just think it's, yeah. That was a great one.
Yeah, that one was good, and the one with Tony was really good too.
That one was good as well.
Yeah. So, did you have anything else you want to know?
I'm going to ask you a few questions maybe throughout this time
Okay.
we have together.
Well, okay. Well, I'll start. How did you get into voice acting at first?
Wow. Okay. So that's a really deep question right off the gate, right out of the gate here. I started singing professionally at 12.
Mm.
And I started singing in church from what I understand from the moment I was born. It's kind of going to church with my mom and my grandmother, my dad, my whole family. It was kind of like, as they say, the pew was my babysitter. So when my mom was in the choir singing, I was laying out on the pew, just playing and learning all the music and just being excited about it. And then when I got into maybe middle school, I started getting into a little bit more acting.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I really hit it hard with like on camera acting and realized that I was just a little bit shy with the on camera acting. And I said, maybe I can do something like behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
And then I met a lady who was teaching a class. I took like a group class and then I kind of fell in love with it. And she offered like a complimentary first class. And the rest is history. That was like in the 90s and straight out of the gate. I got a job working for a TV network as promo talent. I was the voice of that network for 5 years. And then it just kind of catapulted into different genres. So from promo, I believe the next one I went into was commercial. Then I did a little bit of like industrial or corporate, as it's called now.
Yeah.
And most recently, over the last couple of years, getting into animation and things like that. So yeah, it's been a great journey, but I'm still singing, still doing a lot of music stuff. So, just everything vocal is just exciting for me.
Right. Um, the way I look at voice acting, I don't really know much about it. So the way I think of it is like an iceberg that you see a little bit of, and then underneath is like a lot of stuff that you don't really know what goes on. So what other than just seeing a cartoon with a voice or a voiceover goes into the voice acting other than those two things?
So in addition to cartoons, voice acting also includes like commercials that you would see on TV.
Mhm.
So currently for the WNBA, there's a commercial that's running of a lady that's like in this shop, right? And it's kind of like a throwback. So I'm the voiceover
Mhm.
that's talking in the background. So I receive a script from the client, I read down the script, and they kind of give me the backstory of it,
Mhm.
right? So I'm kind of creating what's in their mind, to paint a picture with my voice for this commercial. So there's a person that's on camera for the commercial in this instance, and then myself, which is off camera, for this particular commercial.
Okay.
There's also voice acting for corporate. So sometimes when you work for a corporation and you receive corporate training, there
Mhm.
can be a voice that's actually telling you, something that's going on or something that's gone wrong or something that you need to learn. And then after they tell you all this great information, they'll say, now that you understand that one, click next. And then you'll go to the next screen and do whatever. So that's us voice acting as well. And there's a lot of great people that have tuned in here, that are voice actors too. I see April, I see Yolanda. Thank you, April. I'm glad you love this Sylvie's Love promo. That was one of my favorite promos to voice. That's a great movie. I've probably seen it. I don't know. I don't really want to admit I've seen it more than 10 times, but I
What was the
have.
name of the movie?
It's called Sylvie's Love.
Huh. I have to
Yeah.
check.
And
Um,
it's Tessa Thompson and Namdi Asamoah. It's an amazing film. I think you'll love it. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, nice. Um, what is your favorite type of voice acting? Do you have a specific type, like genre that you like to go into as far as like commercials, movies?
I
Whatever?
honestly don't have a favorite. I love the microphone. I am totally a microphone fiend. I know that is so cliche, but I love, since I was a kid, I love microphones. I collect microphones and I love talking into microphones. So any
I,
type of genre is fine with me.
I'm shy, so like I've had to come out of my shell. I've had to
Okay.
force myself to go like do things like this. So it's not. I definitely wouldn't. Oh, if if I don't have people in front of me and I have just a microphone, that
Hmm.
definitely would make it easier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind talking into a microphone in a booth,
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
in a room with a few people that are directing. I
Yeah.
don't mind doing public speaking. I think what the most I've done public speaking is maybe a few hundred. The
Okay.
most I've done singing in a microphone has been a few thousand, maybe like 5 or 6 thousand people. So I just love the microphone. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You don't want to hear me sing.
Oh, come on. Let me hear. Let me hear some
No.
singing. Come on. Let me hear some singing.
No.
Okay,
Um,
come on. At least happy birthday. Come on, Michael. At least happy birthday.
my birthday was last week. Uh,
Ooh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. Cha cha cha.
Yay. April, you're asking what is my mic of choice? Let's see. My mic of choice for voiceover is the Sennheiser 416, the Sennheiser 416, and my mic of choice for singing is either the Neumann U47, the U87. That's your jam, Terry. That's your jam. For singing, it's either the U47, the U87, or the AKG 414. I love all of those. So yeah, yeah. Yep. There you go, Terry. Now Terry's a microphone fiend too. Terry's doing the most. He's got a full studio too. So yeah.
I've seen his setup. It's pretty big. Yeah, I like everything he has. So tell me about the show, Shark Attack Investigations.
Yes. So it's the Paige Winter story, and it was produced by Robin Roberts, and it basically talks about the journey from Paige Winters getting injured by the shark, and I'm the narrator that's telling the story, and then she and her dad and a few other people that were a part of her life at that time are also talking about what happened to her. And she then, of course, takes us behind the scenes to show her recovery and her learning to walk again, and how she, has no, ill feelings toward the shark that took her leg. She's just, she still loves sharks and she still wants to be a part, of their lives. I mean, she's an amazing young woman. I hope that I, get a chance to meet her, but I really enjoyed telling her story. It was amazing. So yeah, I was excited that National Geographic and Disney, I believe it was Disney Plus, and a few other networks actually, allowed the space to tell her story. I thought that was really awesome.
That's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. What
We,
was it like to win an award for
what's it like to win an award?
yeah,
Um, let's see. Actually, winning an award is like getting an allowance from your parents. It's friggin' exciting.
comparison? That's good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, winning an award actually is more than just me getting the award.
Hmm.
Feeling appreciated and feeling as though my voice is necessary in a
Yeah,
certain
I get that.
space,
Yeah,
and feeling as though I have either changed someone's life or brought awareness to a subject
yeah.
is how I look at receiving that award. So it is something that really means a lot to me. Yeah,
Yeah. To
it's
me
it's
too. I've always thought when I get an award, it's more of the accomplishment and the work you put into it
mm-hmm,
rather than
yeah,
the actual physical award itself.
agreed.
Yeah.
I totally, yeah. How do you feel about awards that you've received as well?
Um, I've gotten awards for wheelchair racing.
Nice. Tell me about that.
When I'm from New York, and I lived there until I was 22.
Okay.
But from 8 until 19, well, actually, sorry, 10 to 19. I participated in what was called the New York State Games for the physically challenged.
Okay.
And I did wheelchair races and swimming events. And at the end of the weekend, we would have a basketball tournament. So I was also in wheelchair basketball. So I did the 100 meter, the 200 meter, the 400 meter,
Oh,
the
wow.
800 meter, and the 1500 meter.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and the 1500 meter, I only did it once the last the year that I was in the games. That one was fun. It was 4 times around the track, so it was a long race.
Okay.
And the last day, I went on the games. I wore every medal I have because I because
Nice.
I because I wanted to get attention, and I was like, I'm gonna look like Mr. T. It's my last year, so I had 57 medals on my neck, and I actually got an interview from a newspaper.
Really?
Yeah,
Congratulations. Did you say 57 awards?
57 medals.
57 medals?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that like super heavy? Like, wait a minute, 57 medals. Like, really? You
no,
have 57
they
medals?
weren't real gold. They were plated. It just looked good.
Congratulations on your 57.
Thank you.
April wants to know, what's your training regimen?
Um, well, I work out Monday through Saturday,
Oh,
and
geez.
I eat as just as well as possible. I mean, I live in Vegas, so there's not really any place to race because
Okay.
if you do that, you get overheated and you die, and that wouldn't be good. So
Be good.
I in my house because I don't like to work out at gyms because the the machines aren't really conducive to being in a wheelchair. Because even with my brakes, if I pull on a machine, I'm going toward the machine, and I am not going to be able to do the actual exercise. So I do free weights, and I have them at the house. But I also have this machine where it's like a half hand bike, where I do like 20 to 30 minutes on that for my cardio
Okay.
before I lift weights.
That sounds pretty intense. April, can we keep up with that? I'm not sure if I can, but maybe you can get in on that training regimen. I'm good. I'm good. Cycling, spin cycling is my jam. I love spin cycling. So
I've heard of it, never seen it done.
I love spin cycling. I love walking, especially along the ocean, just the ebb and flow of the water. April says not at all. She's like, yeah, but I love exercise and I love stretching.
Yeah,
And my exercise of the mind is my prayer and meditation. So I love exercising my mind as well. That's
yeah,
very important to me.
that's important.
Yes.
That's very important. Um, like, how did you get into your music singing songwriter career?
I started singing in church when I was young.
Hmm.
My parents made me sing every time there was an opportunity, for every holiday, for everything. And I loved it. I mean, I fell in love with it. And then I started training in school, and then started singing professionally at 12. I think I'd already mentioned that. And
Yeah.
then in college, I started songwriting and taking classes for songwriting. So I was blessed to get my degree in music and songwriting. And I also studied audio editing. I'm a geek for that. Terry and I share that geekism of loving gadgets and hardware and software. I love editing. A lot of people don't really like that side of it, but yeah, I like it. So, and then from there, I started doing it professionally.
Hmm.
The whole editing piece too, even while I was in college. So just kind of fell into it. You know, I honestly believe that it's my calling to be creative. And I made it, or my parents made a decision for me to really learn it and study it and get a degree in it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I love it. I don't
Yeah.
think I had an option, but I do love it.
Well, yeah. I mean, certain things that are in you, you have to get them out. You have to do it, and
Yeah,
you can't like not get around. You can't get around that. It sooner or later it gets you and it pulls you in.
yeah. Yeah, and it's so fun. I mean, it's like there are so many gadgets and so many gizmos and so many ways to make different sounds and so many ways to combine software and even combine hardware and link them together and just do different things. It's just it's a fun world. So
In
it's
the
good stuff.
studio. I didn't know
Yeah.
you could. I didn't know you could do that.
Yep, you can do almost anything. Terry says he loves playing with sounds. That's right. Yeah, man, you could make a myriad of things just tinkering around in the studio. It's fun.
When when you do your voice acting, is it like you're just in a booth? Are you by yourself, or is there people in around the booth like doing things?
It depends on the client and depends on the job. So, 9 times out of 10, I do it in my own personal booth,
Hmm.
and it's remote. So I can record all over the world remotely from my own vocal booth.
Oh,
There
wow.
are times when I have to travel to Hollywood or travel to another studio, especially if there's other people that are involved in the script, or if the client has a preferred engineer or a preferred sound chain, then I will travel and go to a studio. And usually it's just the engineers there, but sometimes, like I said, if there are other people that are also talking or involved or directing the spot, there
Mhm.
may be maybe 3 to 5 other people that are there um,
Yeah.
in the session.
Have you ever had a time when you didn't get along with who was running the show, like the production?
Thank God, no, not yet. And
That's good.
I don't want to say not yet. I just want to say no. I have not had any disagreements or arguments. No, and but I will say that people come with different directives, right?
Hmm.
People ask for different things, and I think that my acting training prepared me to listen well and to understand well and
Hmm.
to reciprocate even better, right? So if someone gives me a direction, I process it and I'll read it and I'll say, is this kind of where we're going? Am I in the ballpark? Do we need to do something different? Does it need to be faster? Does it need to be slower? Does it need to have more gravitas? Does it need to have more emotion? Am I just like hitting it and we're good? So I've learned to listen and
Hmm.
I've learned to understand phrases and comments from clients. I've also studied different types of genre, different genres and
Hmm.
different types of scripts or copy.
Yeah.
So yeah, just being able to listen and hear is very essential. And for me, it has helped, and I've had no sort of disagreements or anything like that. So yeah.
Important. I've heard that. I've heard that because they don't talk well, I've become a good listener
Okay.
because you have to. You take, like you said, take verbal cues and let the information sink in and like
Hmm.
respond correctly. Yeah, because I don't like to talk, and I've always been told that if the more you talk, the less you can hear
Hmm.
and understand, and then what they say to you just goes over your head.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard, or maybe I read, I can't remember, maybe in school or something, that you don't really receive when you're talking or you're writing. Like when you're in class and the
Hmm.
teacher's talking, if you're writing, you're thinking about what you're writing, not really hearing what he's continuing to say. Somewhere I heard that or read that. Not sure exactly how valid that is, but hey, yeah. So,
It's funny. I've been in class and been writing, and I'll sometimes start writing what the teacher says instead of what I want to write.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Yes, Terry, the voice is a very emotional instrument. Yes, it is. And the voice has a voice of its own, right? We can definitely say that. And April, you are 100% right, girl. The client is always right. Active listening, yes. Client is
What
always right.
what was it like growing up in a military family?
It was fairly intense. My dad, uh, my dad had PTSD,
Hmm.
and that was very traumatic on the family. Um, and there was a lot that he didn't talk about, or couldn't talk about, or chose not to talk about. But a lot, it really took a toll on the family. When I was young, as well as when I became an adult. My eldest brother as well.
Hmm.
He, went experienced a lot, went through a lot, suffered a lot. My uncles and cousins and other friends.
Hmm.
A lot of people have been lifers, and they love it, and it's exciting and it's great. Some other people have experienced trauma for for reasons that they own, right? And Terry can probably speak to that way better than I can. um, but it is being a military brat. On the family side of it, it was whenever you got ready to get up for breakfast,
Hmm.
it was wash your face, brush your teeth, and come to breakfast. Right? And even now with my dad's passed away, but even now I cannot like get ready and just like walk in the kitchen. I have to prepare. I have to, I have to be presentable when I walk into the kitchen, when I'm doing something. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, it's still a really important part of my life. And I am very supportive, of the military and of organizations. I started a nonprofit, based on what my dad and my brother were going through at the time. There was a lot of issues with people transitioning, and at that time, I was very instrumental to put my organization in front of corporations and help people translate their stars and stripes and awards to actual resume criteria, and we were able to get job placements for vets. So it was, a really important and essential thing for such a time as that. So,
Yeah, my father was in Korea during Vietnam
okay,
for a year. Yeah, in 67 is 69, somewhere around there.
okay. And how did that affect you and your family growing
But they said he was exposed to Agent Orange.
up? Mm-hmm.
But they said what I have was directly related to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
wasn't going to go down that road, but
yeah,
they say all of my allergies
yeah.
are related to one, my dad being exposed, and then my mom. She worked for NASA and a couple of other affiliated companies, Rockwell and stuff, and she was exposed to radiation. So I guess I'm just the brunt child of all of that exposure. And so now I'm allergic to air, grass, and everything else. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm allergic to almost everything.
yeah. That's like my wife. She's allergic to like nature.
Yes.
Um, how long have you been acting, voice acting? I'm just curious.
Um, I've been doing it and getting paid for it since the 90s.
Okay.
I started studying it around the same time.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I believe that I was just blessed to, land a long-term gig that kind of gave me a space to learn, a space to grow, a space to become, great in that arena.
Hmm.
And I just love it. I absolutely, absolutely love it. So just yeah, since the 90s.
What was the teacher student training session like?
Starting off, or you mean now that because I still study,
Well,
but
what was it like for you when you were
uh,
learning?
first starting out, it was, I would show up to her house and she would say, read this. And then she'd say, read it another way and read it a different way. And it's actually the same as a client, kind of tells us now. It's really,
Mhm.
not much different. But learning it was fun. It wasn't like it was like you're learning a subject in school that you don't like. It
Hmm.
was always interesting. It was always fun. It was always engaging. It was exciting, learning something new and hearing myself um, say it and then say it again differently and then mean something else but using the same words.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
was yeah, it was really cool.
A few years back, I took a improv class. That was fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Yeah. So we were able to learn how to play different games, and like I said, since I was a since I was shy, I did it to break myself out of my shell and get myself out of there.
Okay, yeah, improv is fun.
Yeah, it was
Improv
fun.
is fun.
Do you have anything going on right now as far as like jobs and things you're looking forward to?
Currently, I have a commercial on the air for the WNBA. And actually, some of my former editor, saw it and sent me a message saying, Keaver, are you on this commercial for the WNBA? And I'm like, what? You saw me? This is exciting, right? And then I was like texting some other friends. I'm like, the commercial's out. The commercial's out. I just found out tonight. And they're like, girl, I was watching the game and I heard your voice. I thought you knew and you just didn't say anything. So it's pretty funny how, sometimes I'll like voice something and then I won't like learn that it's even released or where it's airing on television
Mhm.
until later. So that's one of the big things that's out right now that I'm really excited about. So I look forward to this whole campaign for the
Hmm.
WNBA, and just getting to hear more of my voice on that particular TV campaign. So that's pretty exciting.
What's the Is it the campaign just to like promote uh women's basketball?
Yes, yes. And so they have like different names of different players inside the commercial.
Okay.
So they'll be airing a different commercial like inside of the games that air each time. So whether the games are each week or a few times a week. So yeah, it'll be airing inside that. So yeah, you got to catch some games so that you can see my commercial.
I haven't seen a basketball game in like forever.
What? Come on. You got to do some sports, man. Come on. You're an athlete. You
But
already said you're an athlete.
I am, yeah. But I used to be a Knicks fan, but now it's like I'm embarrassed to mention that.
Why? Why?
They're horrible.
But you still have to support. Come
Oh
on. You
yeah, of
can't
course.
just like, yeah.
Yeah. I've liked them since Ewing, Oakley, and Jackson, so I have to say, you know.
Awesome.
Okay, I have a few more questions for you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. What what one thing in life would you eliminate for yourself or someone you love, if you could?
I would eliminate homelessness if I could.
Do one.
Yeah. I mean, I have encountered um, a lot of vets even that are homeless. I've encountered a lot of um, friends of family members that, during the economy crash, either lost their homes or lost, jobs, or I mean, even during this time of COVID, you know,
Yeah.
homelessness is not necessarily, that you are living on the street.
Hmm.
Homelessness can be that you lost your house and you're living with a friend. You still
Yeah.
homeless. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not your house, so
Yeah.
you're still homeless.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to just erase that. I would love to be able to erase hunger.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know, I would love to be able, to erase pain. I know that's impossible, but if I could choose something, you know,
Yeah.
those would be like the three top things that I would want to do. I love helping people. I
Yeah.
really have a passion for helping people and
Where,
just
where do you think that started?
My grandmother probably, she used to bake and take like these huge cakes to the church, and she would donate her time, and she was on the missionary society. And then as I grew up, I became president of the missionary society, and I was, helping to, just feed our community, and I worked with our local food bank here in Los Angeles, at our church, and also with other private organizations to, to help during the holidays with people
Mhm.
that didn't have food, whether they were people that didn't have jobs, or single moms, or just, people in general that
Mhm.
needed help. So I probably, my grandmother is where I got that bug from. So
That's good.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
can't
it
remember.
was even today. I was at the gas station today, and there was a military vet who walked up to me, and he's like, "Here's my ID. You can see that it's really me. Look at the picture."
Mhm.
He says, "I don't have any gas in my car." And he says, "I'm here at the pump, and I just realized I don't have any money." And of
Mhm.
course, it's a stranger, it's a guy, I'm a lady. I could have just said, hey, back off. I don't have anything,
Yeah,
but I took the time out to help him, because I just felt, I mean, I was down the street from the VA, so I mean, it was like, how did that happen? But I, like I, said before, I do have a passion for helping. I do have a soft heart for vets, and I just wanted to help him, so I did.
it's sad that our first thought is oftentimes, will they hurt me,
Hmm.
or do they have a knife or a
I
gun?
agree. I agree.
That's sad.
I agree.
I'm the same way. I would want to help them,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I can't help. That would be my first thought.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was very aware of my surroundings. I made sure that there were other people at the other pumps, right?
Yeah.
And there was a security guard that came outside. I guess when he saw the person approach me, there was
Yeah.
a security guard that came outside the gas station. So at that point, I felt, fairly safe to engage in a conversation with the
Okay.
gentleman. So yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. But my heart always wants to give. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah, mine too. Yeah, I get that. I'm always, I if even if I have $1 and nothing else to my name, I give it
mhm,
away. That's the way I
yeah,
am.
yeah.
What one thing in life makes you smile?
Love makes me smile. I love love. I feel that my one word is love. My one word is love. I love love. I feel that I am love. And when I say the word, when I see the word, I have a million t-shirts that
Hmm.
say love. I have sweatpants that say love. Um, that makes me smile. Love makes me smile.
It's funny you say that because the reason I had to postpone yesterday
Mhm.
was because my wife took me to see Love for my birthday.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome.
that was a great show.
That is cool. Yes, love is amazing.
Yes, it was. That was my second time seeing it. I saw it like 14 years ago. It was good. Uh, what is your happy place?
I think my happy place is prayer and meditation. That's my happy place, mentally and physically. Mentally, because I love spending time in my own thoughts. I know, like, sometimes people, I think we had heard something on one of Terry's broadcasts, or Evan's broadcasts, that people say they would rather electronically shock themselves than be still and be quiet in their own thoughts. I love being in my own thoughts. I love just the whole essence of prayer and the whole quietness of meditation. I love the posture of prayer, right? Um, that above anything else.
Hmm.
That's even more important to me than ice cream. That is my happy place. And I love non-dairy ice cream. I love ice cream.
So do I.
But yeah,
We've been getting lactate because we're both lactose intolerant. It's pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. I'm actually allergic to dairy, so I can't say I cannot. I choose not to engage. I can eat it,
Yeah.
but I get like this big blob of phlegm. And
Okay.
when that happens, of course, I can't really speak effectively or sing.
No, yeah,
So
that
I
would,
try to do the non-dairy route.
yeah, that your job. Yeah. Yeah. I can eat it, but it messes my stomach up something bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What message do you want to share with your followers and people who become your followers?
I'll really stick to the love piece. I mean, I want people to come out of this pandemic and charge forward in this next portion of their life with
Hmm.
more love and more compassion just for yourself and for your fellow man or woman, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we went into this thing full steam, selfishness, just not really focusing on what life and how delicate it is, right?
Hmm.
And granted, that whole love piece as well. I know that we need to put ourselves first so that we can kind of like on the airplane, when they tell you put your mask on first
Yeah.
so that you're alive and you can actually help someone else, right? Um, having that self-compassion and having that self-love, I think is really, really important. And as much as we toil over the quiet time, as much as we toiled over what some people considered isolation or shelter at home, some of us grew from that.
Yeah.
Some of us created new things and developed new things and wrote books and just came up with courses and just really invented. Other people just kind of, just were just totally withdrawn and just kind of stayed inside. So I would really just want to leave people with the love that I feel. If I could give it to all of you, I would. If I could just share it with everybody, I would just give love, give love, give love, give love, because the greatest of these is love. That's what makes the world go round. So just love everybody. Just keep on loving. Keep on loving.
People, it's funny. Lockdown didn't do anything for me. I loved lockdown because I was in my house and I don't mind not leaving.
Hmm.
My wife and my friends think I'm crazy when I tell them if I was told I didn't have to, if I had food, I wouldn't have to go anywhere. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
I, but I think that goes along with my disability because because of certain ways I get treated.
Hmm.
I like to be by myself or alone, not by myself, but in the house, so that becomes less of an issue.
Makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
so I've just been comfortable being alone or in the house.
Yeah,
Okay.
I love it too. I love it too.
What makes you feel empowered?
What makes me feel empowered? Wow. Um, I think I would say reading scripture makes me feel empowered.
Okay.
Sharing positiveness, is positiveness a word? Sharing
Positivity.
positivity with other people helps me feel empowered. Writing, I don't know if I've written a book that helps me feel empowered, and kind of sharing that with other people.
Hmm.
Um, that my whole journey of grief um, helps me feel empowered. Like the room that Shawana and I have tomorrow. We're opening up that conversation about grace and grief and the whole recovery conversation piece of it, just because we feel that we don't talk enough about it.
Hmm.
So saying all of that to say, I think words make me feel empowered, from scripture and sharing the scriptures to writing and sharing what I've written
Hmm.
to, once again, speaking goodness and positivity over people's lives and their journey. Yeah, yeah, words make me feel empowered.
Yeah.
And the ability to share the words make me feel
Yeah,
good.
that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you don't get them out there, no one knows them.
Right.
Um, have you like you're talking about struggle? Is there anything that you like have thought about, or anything you've dealt with that made you struggle mentally? Because I have like situational depression, so I'll think of something and I'll just overthink it, and make it worse. So I
Hmm.
was wondering, are there times that you go through that?
So this whole thing, I don't know if you can see the book there. This
Okay.
whole thing is my struggle. This book talks about my full struggle and my ability, um, and sometimes inability to deal with the passing of my mom, to deal with the passing of my dad, to deal with the passing of my eldest brother, to deal with recently the passing of a brother. Um, that's my struggle. Grief has been my struggle for years.
Hmm.
And just being able to process it, understand it, talk through it, live through it, still get out of bed,
Hmm.
not just be in a fetal position, just sobbing and crying and not eating. And I've gone through all of those stages of grief, anger and misunderstanding and all of those things. That I feel has been my biggest struggle in life,
Hmm.
is just really getting to a point where I understand it enough
Hmm.
to share it and help someone else
Okay.
deal with it, handle it, be able to cope with it, be able to live with it,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Um, it's not something everybody gets over. It's not something that everybody can live with.
Yeah.
Grief is grief. I don't even have all the answers to it. Obviously, it's still something that I struggle with, but it is a journey that I feel I was called to, hopefully have some positive input
Hmm.
on, so that I can, change the world one person at a time, just by being compassionate enough to take the time to have the conversation about grief with someone. Because sometimes it's, that one conversation can make a big difference. But
Yeah.
that is my biggest struggle is
I, I have lost people that I I can't even talk about them still
mm-hmm.
yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my grandfather died 23 years ago, and I don't like to talk about it.
Yeah. I totally agree. I totally agree. Um, I, kind of like when you were asking me the question about, my dad and the whole military piece, it's like sometimes I just have to close my eyes and pause, because it's still painful.
Oh yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It still hurts,
Yeah,
So,
I get
yeah.
that. Is there anything else that you'd want to share?
I just want to say thank you for being the amazing person that you are.
Thank
And, thank you for all that you bring to the table, for your organization, for the sacrifice of you and your wife, and just, everything that you have going for you, standing up for your own organization and putting forward a platform for us to learn more about you and support you and, share our own stories. So I just want to say thank you for that.
thank you. It was good talking to you.
Absolutely. Great to talk to you too.
You too.
All
Okay.
right. Take
I'll
care.
see you later. Bye bye. Well, I want to thank Keaver Brenai for being our guest today, and thank you to everyone who made comments and liked and came in. Hello, Angela. Hello, April. Malvina. Hey, Terry. Thank you. Oh, oh, ESP, thank you for coming in. Also, I had a really good time. Thank you to my guest, Keaver Brenai, and I will see you next week. So I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.